Eating up the track. Can he catch Laird? He does so. Right at the tape. 1992 for the fabulous.
Noah Lyles has been running circles around his competition for years. But now, a 24-year-old sprinter just made a move that could change everything between them. Joseph Fahnbulleh is switching coaches. And this isn't just any coaching change. This is the kind of decision that tells the world he's done being close. He's done finishing second. The Liberian-American sprinter recently left his longtime coach Mike Holloway and joined Ken Harnden at Auburn University. He's now training with some of the fastest young sprinters in the country, including Kanyin Sola, Ajayi, Maka Charamba, and Jacoby Tharp. Why does this matter? Because Fahnbulleh has been chasing Lyles for a long time. His personal best in the 200 meters is 19.83 seconds. That's fast. Really fast. He won multiple championships while running for the Florida Gators. But when it comes to racing against Noah Lyles, something has been missing. Lyles has won the 200-meter World Championship 4 times in a row. He's the Olympic 100-meter champion with a time of 9.79 seconds. He has 6 World Championship gold medals. When you line up against Noah Lyles, you're not just racing a fast guy, you're racing history. And Fahnbulleh knows this better than most people. He's been in the blocks next to Lyles. He's felt the pressure, and he's experienced something that most sprinters don't talk about publicly. Lyles gets inside your head before the race even starts. Let me take you back to the 2023 Tom Jones Memorial. Fahnbulleh was getting ready for the 100-meter dash. He was locked in, focused, ready to run. Then Noah Lyles walked over and tried to shake his hand. Not once, multiple times. Fahnbulleh told the story on the Ready, Set, Go podcast with Justin Gatlin. He said,
"Here comes Noah trying to shake my hand. I'm like, all right, bro, I'm chud. Like, stop.
Yeah.
Nah, shake my hand. I'm like, oh, come on. You know?"
It sounds harmless, right? Just a friendly handshake. But when you're minutes away from racing, when your mind is focused on the finish line, when you're trying to control your breathing and your nerves, someone breaking that focus can throw everything off. And that's exactly what happened. There were multiple false starts. One of them was Fahnbulleh's. Everything felt blurry. His former coach, Mike Holloway, was yelling at him to stay focused. But the damage was done. Fahnbulleh admitted,
and I was mad because he was trying to be funny and shake my hand. So I was like, bro, come on now.
When the race finally happened, Lyles ran 9.95 seconds. Fahnbulleh ran 9.98 seconds, 0.03 of a second. That's the difference. That's how close Fahnbulleh was to beating one of the greatest sprinters in the world. But close doesn't win medals. The 2024 Tom Jones Memorial was similar. Fahnbulleh described what happened to Justin Gatlin in detail. He said Lyles was coming around shaking hands, trying to be all funny while everyone else was locked in. To the crowd, it probably looked like Noah being Noah, friendly, confident, fun. But to Fahnbulleh, it was a mental attack. He said, "I was locked in, the finish line's in my sights, and here he is trying to shake my hand like it's a reunion." After the race, Fahnbulleh couldn't even remember seeing the finish line. He said, "I didn't even see the finish line. I just ran." Everything was gray. Everything was confused, and he blamed it on Lyles throwing off his mental game. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Justin Gatlin understood exactly what Fahnbulleh was feeling. Gatlin raced the world's fastest men for almost 20 years. He knows what it takes to win at the highest level. And he told Fahnbulleh something important. Gatlin talked about Michael Jordan and the Last Dance documentary. Jordan would make up reasons to get angry before games. He would create motivation out of nothing. Gatlin did the same thing. He created a persona called J. Gat. He said,
"Ruthless." J. Gat was the guy on the field who didn't care. You trying to take money out of my pocket, food out of my mouth. You know what I mean? Like, we're trying to battle. Now, J. Gat would only come out every 9 seconds or 19 or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
That mentality is what separates good runners from great ones. Gatlin told Fahnbulleh,
"My day, you know?"
Yeah.
I see that in you. I see that kind of person that you like. If you tap into that emotional state, that finish line is going to become closer and closer for you all the time, like you said.
Yeah.
Fahnbulleh agreed. He talked about his training and how his coach knows exactly how to push his buttons. Some days his coach would say, "We're thugging today," and push the whole group to their limits. Those were the days when something special happened. Fahnbulleh said, "You feel that desperation. You chase that finish line like it's life or death." Both Gatlin and Fahnbulleh understand something important. Racing at the highest level isn't just about who's the fastest. It's about who can handle the mental pressure. And Noah Lyles is a master at creating that pressure. Lyles doesn't just beat you with his speed. He beats you before the gun goes off. He studies his opponents, he knows how to get under their skin, he's calculating, and it works. Even when his rivals know what he's doing, it still bothers them. But here's what makes this story even better. Despite all the mind games, despite the frustration, Fahnbulleh actually respects Noah Lyles as a person. In fact, he defends him. When people compare Lyles to Usain Bolt, they often criticize Noah for being too loud, too flashy, too much. Bolt broke the world record with 9.58 seconds back in 2009. Since 2012, nobody has even run faster than 9.7 seconds. Bolt was the fastest human ever, and he did it with style but also with humility. Lyles is different. He's loud on social media. He talks trash, he wears wild outfits, he has a podcast. Some people think it's too much, but Fahnbulleh doesn't see it that way. He told Pulse Sports, "People compare Usain Bolt to Noah Lyles on charisma. At that time, Usain Bolt spoke with his times, spoke with being humble, good vibes that made the sport grow. But this day and age, when it comes to social media and other sports that are gaining more access and viewership, maybe this is what the sport needs." Fahnbulleh explained that track and field needs someone like Noah to bring attention to the sport. There are other amazing athletes like Grant Holloway, Rai Benjamin, and Faith Kipyegon, but when it comes to social media clicks and views, Noah is the one bringing eyes to the sport. Fahnbulleh said, "Him being him is bringing press. Good, bad press is still press." Off the track, Fahnbulleh says Noah is completely different from his public image. He told Mozart Sport, "Noah is a wonderful guy. He is a person you can easily talk to. The media paints a different picture of him." He described Noah as a family guy who loves his friends and wants them to succeed. Fahnbulleh even said that training with Noah taught him something valuable. He said, "No matter what the day is or what you are feeling, you have to get out there and get it done. People are paying tickets to come see you run. Maybe you do not feel like practicing every day, but it does not matter. The stadium is packed, and I have to put up a show." But learning from someone and losing to them are two different things, and that brings us back to Joseph Fahnbulleh's coaching change. This is more than just switching training groups. It's a statement. It's Fahnbulleh saying he's ready to be more than just close. He's ready to beat Noah Lyles. New coaches bring new techniques. New training partners bring new competition every single day. The Auburn group is filled with young, hungry sprinters who want to prove themselves. That environment could be exactly what Fahnbulleh needs to take the next step. He's already proven he can run with the best. His 19.83 inches, the 200 meters, puts him in elite company. He recently won the 200 meters at the Kipkeino Classic in Kenya with a time of 20.40 seconds. He's fit, he's fast, and now he has a new team behind him. The question is whether he can finally beat the mental game that Noah Lyles plays so well. Can he use his frustration as fuel instead of letting it break his focus? Can he flip that switch that Justin Gatlin talked about? Tokyo is going to be the stage where we find out. Noah Lyles will be there trying to defend his titles. His rivals will be there trying to take them. And Joseph Fahnbulleh will be there with a new coach, a new team, and a new chance to prove that his bold move was the right one. The 24-year-old isn't just chasing Noah Lyles anymore. He's coming for him.
A battle between these two, and Gout working so hard to get to him, and he gets there. Gout takes it by a meter and moving away.
The world of sprinting just got shaken by a 17-year-old no one saw coming. His name, Gout. The Australian teenager didn't just break a record, he shattered one that once belonged to Usain Bolt. From school tracks in Queensland to headlines worldwide, his rise feels unreal. Coaches can't explain it.
And I went, yeah, all the way, dude. If I can't do it, no full well I'll put you in the right spot.
Rivals can't believe it, and fans are asking the same question, how is this even possible? Every race he runs bends the limits of speed, and every stride looks like a glimpse into sprinting's future. On June 24, 2025, the Golden Spike meeting in Ostrava, Czechia, became the stage for a new chapter in sprinting history. Competing in his first major international race, Gout ran the 200 meters in 20.02 seconds, a new Australian record. The teenager's effortless stride carried him 0.2 ahead of Cuba's Rainier Mina and nearly 0.6 faster than Team GB's Nathaniel Mitchell-Blake. With that single run, he shattered Peter Norman's 56-year-old national record and eclipsed Usain Bolt's under-16 world best. Standing next to the scoreboard, beaming under the stadium lights, Gout knew he had arrived. "I feel good," he told reporters. New personal best. New national record. I don't feel pressure, because as soon as I step out on that track, it's just me by myself and what I've got to do. It wasn't just a win. It was a signal to the world that the next generation of sprinting had arrived, and it carried an Australian passport. Born in Ipswich, Queensland, to South Sudanese parents who migrated to Australia in 2005, Gout grew up in a large family of 7 siblings. His father worked in a hospital kitchen, his mother managed the household, and both instilled in their son a sense of humility and determination. He showed talent early, dominating school meets with a natural stride that left others behind. By 15, he was running national times. By 16, he had broken the 200 meters under 18 record with a 20.04, faster than Bolt at the same age. Coach Dee Shepard recognized early on the extraordinary potential in Gout. She saw someone who moved with rare fluidity and raced with a steely composure that belied his age. From the moment she brought him into her training squad, she understood his life was about to shift dramatically. She told him that from now on, there would be fewer nights out, fewer distractions. The sacrifices demanded by greatness were already beginning to take shape. By 17, Gout had become one of the most talked about young sprinters in the world, with over 200,000 followers, a major Adidas deal, and World Athletics promotion ahead of his Tokyo debut. His rise was meteoric. Even Usain Bolt took notice, praising his talent but cautioning that success at the senior level would demand discipline and patience. Gout's secret isn't just power, it's precision. His rival and training partner, Lachlan Kennedy, revealed that Gout's technique defies convention. His heels don't touch the ground, Kennedy explained. We call it heel recovery. It's off the charts. Even Bolt didn't have that. It's why he maintains top speed so easily. In sprinting, the smallest biomechanical differences can decide victory. With less contact time per stride, Gout glides rather than runs. The person who wins, Kennedy said, is usually the one who slows down the least. That efficiency has analysts calling him the most naturally gifted Australian sprinter since Kathy Freeman, and possibly the country's best ever prospect in men's sprinting. Just months after Ostrava, Gout made his senior debut at the World Athletics Championships in Tokyo, stepping onto the same track where Bolt once ruled. At only 17, he faced legends like Noah Lyles but refused to be intimidated. In his semi-final, he ran 20.36, faster than Bolt's own first World Championship semi-final time from 2005. "I've earned my place here," Gout said calmly. "These athletes are stronger, bigger, older, more experienced, but at the end of the day, we're all running 200 meters, and regardless of how old you are." Though he didn't reach the final, his composure and performance spoke volumes. The world had seen the arrival of sprinting's next great talent. Fame hasn't changed him. Despite headlines comparing him to Bolt and sponsorships rolling in, Gout still lives like a regular student. He drives a modest Hyundai i30 and jokes about fighting with his siblings over video games. "It's crazy," he laughs. "I've had people ask me for photos, even a baby whose mom wanted me to sign her forehead." Behind the grin and record times is a serious mindset. Gout is still finishing high school while training at elite levels, maintaining his studies in psychology, and embracing the challenge of patience alongside ambition. He has said it's vital to remind himself that progress takes time. Meanwhile, his manager Templeton has worked to keep him grounded, rejecting many media requests and stating that the focus is on preserving normality for a teenager whose athletic journey has already begun in earnest. Gout's rise has also become symbolic. As one of the few high-profile black athletes in Australian track and field, he carries the hopes of a new generation. His father, Bona, once suggested changing the spelling of the family name to Gut to reflect their heritage. Gout declined. He's also faced the uglier side of fame. Social media posts about him have drawn racist comments, forcing networks to disable comment sections. But Gout remains unfazed. His calm defiance has turned him into an icon of representation. Proof that greatness knows no color or origin. He's already looking ahead to the 2032 Brisbane Olympics, which will take place in his home state of Queensland. At an Adidas event, Gout called Brisbane's Olympic future destiny, saying, "Definitely for sure." I think God kind of made my parents follow that path. There was a choice between Canada and Australia, and I think per God's will they landed in Queensland for sure. By the time the 2032 Brisbane Olympics arrive, Gout will be 24 years old, right in his prime, and at the same age Usain Bolt was when he captured double gold in London. Physically, he's already evolving into an elite sprinter's ideal build. At 1.83 meters tall, his long legs, rapid stride turnover, and balanced power make him a near-perfect biomechanical specimen. Over the past year, he's grown taller, gained functional muscle, and refined his form to maximize efficiency. Sports scientists studying his technique have noted that his stride length and recovery angles are close to flawless, combining natural rhythm with technical precision. They describe him as biomechanically exceptional. And what's most remarkable is that he's still developing. Yet for all the comparisons to Bolt, Gout remains focused on forging his own path. His drive comes from constant improvement rather than legacy or fame. Even after competing on the world stage, he stays grounded, prioritizing his studies and life outside athletics. Between training sessions and races, he still thinks about school, preparing for his final exams with the same quiet determination that defines him on the track. When he crossed the finish line in Ostrava, smiling beside that glowing 20.02, it wasn't just a record, it was a revelation. In that moment, the world saw the birth of a generational athlete. At 17, Gout has already achieved what most sprinters only dream of: breaking Bolt's youth record, rewriting national history, and inspiring a continent. He's a reminder that greatness doesn't have to wait, that sometimes the future arrives early, wearing spikes and a grin. And for Gout, this is only the beginning.
For all of us to be here, the crowd are on their feet, they're roaring him on. Is it his fourth world record of the year?
Yes!
Oh yes!
Yes!
Oh yes! Oh yes!
On September 15th, 2025, in Tokyo, Japan, one man jumped over a bar set at 6.30 meters high. That's taller than a giraffe. No human had ever done this before, and honestly, most people thought it was impossible. His name is Armand Duplantis, but everyone calls him Mondo. He's 25 years old, and he just broke the world record for the 14th time in his career. Let that sink in. 14 times. Most athletes never break a world record once. Mondo does it like it's his day job. When he cleared that bar in Tokyo, it bounced. The whole stadium held their breath. If it fell, the record attempt was over, but it stayed up. Mondo jumped off the mat and straight into the arms of the second-place finisher, a Greek vaulter named Emmanuel Karalis. The crowd went absolutely wild. After the jump, Mondo said he was at a loss for words. He told everyone in the stadium, "I'm just so happy." For this world record, he won $70,000 for the victory, plus a $100,000 bonus just for breaking the record. Not a bad night's work. So who is this guy, and how did he get so good at flying through the air? Mondo started pole vaulting when he was just 4 years old. His family had a pole vault pit right in their backyard in Louisiana. Most kids have swing sets. Mondo had a full pole vault setup. He would spend hours out there, jumping and practicing. In high school, Mondo was a star. During his freshman year in 2015, he set national records and won awards. That same year, he made a huge decision. He chose to compete for Sweden instead of the United States. Even though he was born and raised in Louisiana, he loved Sweden. He spent every summer there with his Swedish grandparents. Plus, the Swedish national team coach invited his dad to be a coach too. That sealed the deal. At his first competition for Sweden, the 2015 World Youth Championships, Mondo won gold with a jump of 5.30 meters. He was only 15 years old. From there, things just kept getting better. In 2016, he cleared 5.49 meters and became the first high school athlete to vault 18 feet indoors. In 2017, he jumped 5.90 meters at the Texas Relays and broke the world junior record by a massive 10 centimeters. In 2018, when he was just 18 years old, he won his first major senior championship at the European Championships in Berlin. He jumped 6.05 meters. That made him the youngest person ever to win a men's field event in the 84-year history of that championship. He also became the youngest person ever to join the exclusive 6-meter club. Even the great Sergei Bubka, who was considered the best pole vaulter ever, didn't clear 6 meters until he was 21. Mondo went to Louisiana State University for 1 year. He set both the indoor and outdoor college records. He won championships. He dominated. Then in 2019, he decided to turn professional. He was ready for the big stage. And that's when the world record breaking started. On February 8, 2020, in a city called Torun in Poland, Mondo cleared 6.17 meters. That broke the world record that had stood for almost 6 years. The old record belonged to a French vaulter named Renaud Lavillenie, who was actually Mondo's childhood hero. 1 week later, Mondo broke his own record by jumping 6.18 meters in Glasgow, Scotland. Since then, he's broken the world record 12 more times. Here's the pattern. Every time he breaks it, he only raises the bar by 1 centimeter. That's less than half an inch. Why? Because he gets a big bonus every time he sets a new record. His main sponsor is Puma, the sports company. After his 13th world record, Puma joked on Instagram, "Please give us a rest." But here's what's really wild. Nobody else has even come close to these heights. Since Mondo broke Lavillennie's 6.16 meter record, no other athlete has jumped higher than that old mark. Mondo is out here alone in a completely different league. In 2021, he won his first Olympic gold medal in Tokyo. The Olympics were delayed by a year because of the pandemic, but Mondo showed up and dominated. He cleared 6.02 meters and won easily. His competitor, an American vaulter named Chris Nielsen, said competing against Mondo was like a regular football player trying to be like Lionel Messi or Cristiano Ronaldo. He called Mondo's dominance impressive and ridiculous. In 2022, Mondo broke the world record 3 times in 1 year. He won the World Indoor Championships, the World Outdoor Championships, and the European Championships. He also won the Diamond League title. The Diamond League is a series of the best track and field competitions around the world. That year, he jumped 6 meters or higher 23 times. Nobody had ever done that before. At the end of 2022, he was named World Athlete of the Year. He won that same award in 2020, 2023, and in a different category in 2024. Only 3 athletes in history have won it 3 times.